Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped. Something.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny. I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
Holiday time, drained. Draining week. Wondering what to tackle in this session.
Okay.
I bought an IFS workbook. Haven't used it yet. Wanted to soon. But the holidays got to me.
Yeah. What do you mean by the holidays getting to you?
Oh, well, going to the parents or now parent. And then cemetery to visit my other parent, plus everyone else. It was not bad, actually. It's not bad, but, leaves me tired, and my birthday's in 2 days. So it's funny. It's it's funny having a birthday always lumped in with holidays, or not always, but I find it interesting because I feel like the holidays overshadow birthdays. I fall under that sort of thought, having a late birthday. But now I feel like my whole life is overshadowed by my mom's death, and the celebration of even being a year older doesn't necessarily matter to me. But it's a reminder. And it's just interesting, these holidays acting as reminders.
Yeah. Okay.
So ho, ho, ho. Maybe we can use that as a trailhead. I don't know.
We can? Yeah. Would you like to have a minute of quiet meditation and just take a moment, drop in, see what's coming up?
Yeah. I feel also I should say we're recording this, but maybe I can't post it again still. I don't feel comfortable.
Okay. Same whatever from last time coming from me. No need to publish.
Nice.
Okay. I'll set a timer for a minute.
Sounds good.
Okay. Got any parts you'd like to get to know better or change your relationship with?
This fatigue is getting to me, so I feel that right now a lot of the things that I described is making me feel sick.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I'm just getting sick.
Mm-hmm.
Feel it in my stomach, and I feel very dehydrated. And I should be drinking water. Um,
You want to take a minute to get some water?
yeah, I mean that part of the water. Yeah, I feel like if there's any part, it would be um, this depleted part from my
Okay.
whole.
Okay. Did you
And
get
I
your
guess my stomach is, I feel like it is in my stomach.
Okay. Anything else you notice about it in the body?
I think feels like it's just saying nonstop.
Okay. How do you feel towards it?
Um, like it's desperate,
Mm-hmm.
needs a cure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And do you know what the message, what the is about, or can you flesh that out a little bit? What does mean?
Probably just all the pain
Mm-hmm. Okay.
response.
Mm-hmm. And as you notice the sensation, how do you feel towards it?
Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
sorry for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I feel like it comes from a place of compassion.
Compassion and maybe, yeah, still, maybe I've just been also not treating this part, tending to it, or
Mm-hmm.
I guess it is sort of still lumped in physical routine. It's both a pain emotionally and a pain physically. So
Okay.
in a way, I think I'm not tending to it in many ways.
Okay. How would it feel to just let it know that? Let it know that you have that compassion for it, and also that you're sorry that you haven't attended to it.
You know, that feels better.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's basically saying that's good.
Good. Can let it know I'm feeling compassionate for it too.
Thanks. Yeah.
And curious.
Curious.
Yeah, I'm curious about about the pain, about the nonstop nature of it, and anything else we can learn about this part to help it out.
Mm-hmm.
Does it notice you there?
Yeah, but I think it's also too tired to notice.
Okay. That's fine. Just let it know it doesn't have to do anything. And it doesn't have to perform or answer any questions or anything.
Mm.
Does it like having our attention?
Yeah.
Great. What does it want you to know about itself?
I'm getting a visual. Once it's like a slinky, like slinkies.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, it's like a spiral that bounces.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I didn't even think it's funny how that just comes out.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a metaphor again for some creative thing of it's both a spiral that jumps around and it's not just a still spiral. It's a spiral that likes to hop around. So in a sense, it's more complex than a spiral, which I think for me, uh, the symbolism of a spiral with the type of pain
Mm-hmm.
is a negative sort of aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting where, for some reason, I'll just take the metaphor that I think I'm creating, and perhaps the slinky is not sort of a fun toy too.
Okay. Maybe you
But
can check. Yeah, go ahead.
I just feel like this spiral like jumps erratically. It's
Mm-hmm.
not it's not really one in one position. It's hopping around, gaining momentum. I guess it stops too.
And so you were saying that you had kind of thought of it as just associated with the pain and had that negative association.
Yeah,
Maybe you can
because
ask it
yeah,
like what it thinks about that, if it wants to tell you any more about that association or anything else, around that.
funny, just Christmas. It's almost like giving this part a spiral for Christmas. It's like a toy. I think it can be. I think the part likes it. Um, or it is just the object.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's interesting objects because I'm just reminded of my childhood where you play with that thing in a certain way, it'll just it'll just tie up into itself and break.
Yeah.
I think the part like feels like it should have this toy.
Mm-hmm. Is there any more it wants to tell you about that?
I think it's actually, I don't know, seeing it as a happy thing now. So I feel like some just a little bit of lightness in it. I
Mm-hmm.
think it sort of feeling this part and this object and meditating on it is making it a bit better.
Nice.
Yeah.
When you first noticed it, it was just saying ah from nonstop pain.
True. Good reminder. Yeah. Felt like it was calling out through the ah.
Mm-hmm. You could check that out with it. Like, if it wants you to know any more about that, it doesn't have to if we don't want to focus on that, but I'm curious.
I think it's just constantly in sort of a heat or some sort of pain. Yeah. Like tiredness, wanting sort of calm or
Mm-hmm.
restless, which is basically what I'm like these days.
Okay. So when you're feeling restless, you think this part has a hand in that? And also when you're feeling fatigued?
Yeah, I think this would be the part, one
Mm-hmm.
of the yeah.
Can you see or ask why it gets your attention in the way it does?
I think it's uncertainty. I do feel like it's uncertainty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Does that make sense to you?
Yep.
Okay. Let it know that. And does it mind showing you more about the uncertainty, kind of what that's like for it, or what's so difficult about that for it?
I think it makes the part feel like it has to devise or plan ahead or
Mm-hmm.
plan the nearest moment of trying to be settled, trying to feel relaxed.
Mm-hmm. So it's restless in its pursuit of relaxation.
Yeah, partially.
Mm-hmm. And how long has it been working in this way for you?
Oh, well, I mean, I feel like I've just identified this part, but if we're talking about something similar with my day to day, I feel like I've been battling this for half the year now. And rest has always been, or I would say, I guess from the last time we talked about it or talked last session, in between that time, it was getting critical where the doctor, sort of convinced me to take time off as rest. 6 weeks. So I have maybe 2 more weeks, 2.5 weeks, where I'm supposed to feel rested and good, but it's not really the up and down, up and down.
Okay. And when you say you're battling this, is it the part that has the battle, or do you feel like you're battling the part, or who's in conflict here?
I don't think I'm battling the part. I think the part is very much like a child of feeling that the battle together with me. So,
Okay. Okay. So you see that it's on your side, has good intentions.
yeah, it's a comrade, I guess.
Okay. Just let it know that. Maybe show it some appreciation. Just for its intention. How's it going? Is it receiving that?
It's receiving it. I think I had what is it? Obstructive thought.
Obtrusive?
Obtrusive. Yeah, sorry.
I think that's the word.
Yeah, I figured it was one of the two. I forget. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And what does that part want you to know? Or why does it want to get your attention?
It's heavy. Just like 3 days ago, a friend told me one of my friends passed away in a fire.
Sorry.
Well, thanks. It's just, yeah, I feel like, yeah, I think in acknowledging the pain of this part, I just realized there was more pain that I actually haven't processed properly, even because it's the holidays.
Right. Okay.
Just never stops. Woo.
Yeah. So you can decide, how much you want to turn to that part and welcome it to show up and express itself to you, or if that feels like too much, or if you want to stay with this first part, it's your call with what feels right for you.
I feel like we have to incorporate it.
Okay. If it feels like too much at any time, you can let the parts know that, and let them know that you can come back to them later.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll ask the slinky part for a moment and turn to this other one.
Sure.
Okay. How do you feel towards it?
Surprised.
Mm-hmm. Curious about it?
Yeah, it's in my top, it feels like top right head.
Okay.
Almost polar. Like we went from the stomach to the top of my head.
Mm-hmm. And is it aware of you?
Yeah,
Great. And what does it want you to know about itself?
interesting. It's feels like this part is really truly the friend. It's, I don't know if parts can just be another person in your head, but it feels like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It can show up however it wants. Are you all right with that? Are you still feeling curious about it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, just let it know that. Let it know we're curious. Ask it what it wants you to know.
Very much so. This part, it's almost like how I grieved my mom. It's a conversation to someone that's not even here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's there inside you.
Yep.
So I think that's entirely normal. I think that's what we're doing. And that's a gift, kind of a superpower that we have to talk to all the people inside of us.
Mm-hmm.
So, how's the conversation going?
Mm. Things that would come out of this is it's not, I mean, it's an acknowledgement of mm, the passing with this friend and an understanding or, you know, time where I think it's mutual, where this passing isn't necessarily something planned or something that should be in the way of what have you for myself during this time. Um, there, yeah, there's some sadness, but it's not fully there, or maybe it won't necessarily be there.
Mm-hmm.
But does remind me of having to navigate what it's like when you lose someone.
Does it feel like a connecting conversation that you're having with this part?
I think it is a connecting one.
Great.
Not think, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like it's easy for me to think too of the strong image of devastation of my friend's body, or this quote unquote freak accident,
Mm-hmm.
as my other friend who told me said. But there's no real service in even looking at it like that.
As a freak accident?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. I know maybe this is outside of parts, but you know, this year it seems like I'm used to delivering bad news, and the measurement of its severity or its rapidness,
Mm-hmm.
almost to a point that we're talking about something malignant or violent or consuming,
Mm-hmm.
overburdening. And I think right now, actually, when I'm talking to you and talking to this part and talking to
Mm-hmm.
the stomach, I do feel a little bit more stepping back from that.
From the
'Cause I feel
violence and the
like,
burden.
yeah, or the perpetual, the feeling of having sort of like it as this anchor, or I don't want to use the word shackle, but
Mm-hmm.
ball and chain shackles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
like, with respect, this is like, yeah, it's just interesting how, and I think it is just, it is the time, it's how I feel like more often than not, all my friends are communicating the negativities of life, and the severity of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to feel that it's not maybe I'm participating in this too much and thinking about the severity.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that is good. This all ties into surprise. It's a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's interesting. It's almost like, and I guess maybe my poker analytical mind is on.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, we it's almost like or see, now I'm reading this too much or reading how my friends are, but
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like this surprise. It's almost, where because the chance is so little or rare, and we have to articulate or think through that rarity or that lens of this slim chance or this freak accident
Right. Right.
or my mom's cancer
Mm-hmm.
progression that happened over less than a year. We have to think, like, I think this whole year, I think I thought through that lens a lot and still am. And I think I still am because it's almost like that's how the media sometimes, not to bring media in it, but
Uh-huh.
it's funny to think about it like that.
So by framing it or by analyzing the chance and the odds, that's a way that this part, your friends, media tell the story to, and that's a way of dealing with how surprising it was.
Yeah, or dealing or even reconciling, like in a sense where, hey, this thing happened. It happened to someone you loved, but this emphasis of rarity also can sort of imply this will never happen to you, or this never happens in general, which I feel like the latter is true, but there's always this, I don't know, I guess there's a part of me that gets riled up where a result is a result, and maybe I end up feeling that, and I think this happens in the past. I guess as a kid, I get neurotic or hypochondriac where could this happen to me? Should I be fearful?
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I'm not. Like, I'm not fearful of, I mean, there was a little bit of a scare, but I know it's not really productive of me
Mm-hmm.
to think in this way. But I
Yeah.
just do feel that the lead of how people lead telling information, or like my friend telling me all of this, lends to an emotional response that becomes severe or
Mm-hmm.
so I'm anyway. Whew, okay, that's not heart's work, but I don't know.
I think it is. I think it is. I'm hearing a part that does the analyzing, does the odds. I mean, our last call was about gambling,
Oh yeah.
and so at least at that time, you were feeling like this part was quite active. It could be the same part, and this could be how it tries to protect you in some way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
and
true.
and I think that when you say, thinking as a kid, could this happen to me? What I'm hearing or what I'm guessing is that there is. I mean, earlier you were also talking about uncertainty, so it sounds like there very well could be a part that has a fear of what's uncertain. And one way that that's managed by protectors is through analyzing the odds.
Yeah, as soon as you bring that up, my stomach again, that part actually feels active.
Okay. Yeah. Active how?
Yeah. I guess I've been so used to, as a kid, in this part, like being in unstableness.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is coming forefront again.
Okay. Does it feel all right? Does it feel like this is all too much? Or that this part is too much?
It doesn't feel too much, but
Great.
it does feel like it's working. It's working. It's like it is wired to try to work it out.
Right. Yeah. Just let it know you see it. And you could ask it, like the assumptions I had about it, were they accurate to it? Or is there more that it wants to say about why it works in that way?
Can we talk? Can you just prompt a little what did you say?
Mm-hmm. I was basically asking, does it think that you get it? Does it feel like you understand it?
I think it does, yes. It feels
Okay.
like it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we get it. It feels like again a comrade. It doesn't feel it has pain, but it doesn't really feel like it's speaking or trying to give that pain off to other parts, or
Mm-hmm.
it's just there. Maybe a sort of isolated part,
Yeah.
but they're like still like not as, maybe like a little bit like cut off, but not too cut off, if that makes sense.
Okay. You could ask it about that. You could ask it if there's anything you can do, or if it wants to be less cut off from you, for example, if it feels alone, and if there's anything you can do for it to be there for it more.
Yeah, I think it definitely feels like it would be a social part, but not too concerns with that at the moment. I
Mm-hmm.
think though it needs some sort of attention
Yeah.
or management, I guess.
Yeah. What kind of attention does it need? What would that look like? How can you show up for it? And just ask it what that would look like.
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like I'm so tired in general. I don't even know how to show up to this part.
Fair
I
enough.
mean,
And
I
you
think
might
that,
let it know
yeah,
that. Say, I've been tired, but it's still good to, understand what its desire is, what's on its wish list. a lot of times what parts need is a lot less than we first guess.
I think it needs some soothing of some sort. Like feels like definitely some, maybe it is like a hyperactive working part. I do think it is like that a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
Yeah.
how I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
think it needs some sort of. I mean, I do think that I've been trying my best for this, trying to moderate things, or like moderate in a way of not. I'm not using it in a sense of like moderate your intake of alcohol, or moderate like
Mm-hmm.
more like it needs a moderator, like in general.
Uh-huh.
Because I do think, I guess, moderate its tendency to get riled or worked up. And I do think like it is being tired of tired,
Mm-hmm.
or thinking about being tired.
And so soothing would be the way to do that for it?
Some sort of soothing thing, some sort of relaxing thing. I don't,
Yeah. You could
but
just ask it. Ask it what soothing looks like for it. Is that a different space, place? Is that an activity? Is that a conversation? Is that just being noticed by you and holding hands?
think it needs restful sleep,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
some sort of downtime.
Okay.
I don't know how to make a part sleep.
You could ask it. Does it,
True.
and maybe it's saying, maybe it's being more, blunt and saying, no, you need to get better sleep. And maybe you can
Oh,
ask it
I
how you would do
definitely
that.
do. I definitely do need extras. Like,
Check it out with the part. If you were to get better sleep, would that be soothing for it?
oh yeah, definitely
Okay.
would be.
Okay.
I've been trying,
Mm-hmm.
but still feel like I crossed this weird, um, I don't know, sleep hygiene, no sleep hygiene. My sleep is messed up.
Mm-hmm. Sorry to hear that.
No thanks. Yeah. Even the sleeping pills, like sometimes I only sleep 3 hours on it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, how did that happen? I think this is beyond the sleeping pills.
Do you
But
know
I
what
guess I should
part? Do
keep
you know what
trying.
parts are keeping you up? Is it this restless one from earlier?
I feel like I get into a pattern where if I if I if I sleep and wake up, I have trouble going back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, I'm moving from um have trouble getting back to sleep. And then I feel like even if I take more sleep, it'll just make me more sleepy when I wake up. I don't know how to describe it.
Okay.
I just can't properly sleep, or like I'll try to, if I wake up and I go back to sleep, like even the added 3 hours over it doesn't make me any more rested. It's so interrupted. So I have interrupted sleep. I'm not sure where it comes from, apart from I do think I have a racing head, like thoughts, even during my sleep.
How do you feel about the conversation that we've had just for the past, whatever, 45 minutes or hour? Do you feel like your head's been racing?
I feel like I've learned this or felt these two new parts.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there has been moments that maybe I'll be reminded of how much my hearts and thoughts can move quite rapidly.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of recognize that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting. Like, I mean, yeah, it is a bit of a rush. Like, I don't know how to gauge it because I feel like it's necessary, or I've made it feel necessary.
Yeah.
There's something about it because I do learn from
the
it.
parts feel that it's necessary. They all have something to say. And I mean, that's just another way to think about it, is that these parts have their needs. And it sounds to me like you've been able to keep up with them just in this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just keep up with who's showing up.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I'm going to start. I know I've been saying this over and over, but I feel, yeah, I think I'm going to use this self-therapy work, IFS workbook, and start writing
Okay.
down more,
Okay.
checking in more. Um,
Ask the
yeah,
part ask the parts that are keeping your mind racing if they feel like that would be effective, or if they'd like something else from you.
weird. It's saying I need to speak out loud.
Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of it.
Wow. I don't know where that, if I mean,
out
that's
loud parts work.
crazy. Really? Wow.
Well,
Interesting.
yeah, I made a podcast, and also when I do my parts work, I do it out loud, spoken. And I've talked to some other
Wow.
callers recently about their experiments with that.
I haven't been listening to the podcast, not to offend you. I will. I will get back into it. But yeah, that's interesting.
What they're asking from you is to do parts work out loud, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think that would make it easier. I didn't think about that before.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to talk than it is to write, in my opinion.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And you are doing it right now, so high five.
That's true. High five. Yeah. It's amazing.
And that's why I was asking, like, well, is your mind racing now? Because, yeah, parts want to be heard, and they don't feel like they are heard. And one way to make them heard is to literally speak for them.
Mm-hmm. It's cool. That's so funny. Okay, I will do this.
Okay. Would you like Does this part, or do you have any requests of me? Do you want me to check in on you on Discord or anything? Is there any way that I can help?
Oh, that's so sweet. I'll message you here and there. I feel like I should get on to Discord more. Terrible at these platforms. But yeah, no, this has been a great little check-in.
Great.
Hope you'll have a good whatever this week is for you.
I'm doing lots of parts work because I have
Oh.
big things going on in my life, and
Oh,
that's
cool.
It's been kind of at the top of my list. Is I've received a lot of information and a lot has happened to me, and I need to do the processing, which I am doing through parts work.
That's great. Right
Mhm.
on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. Good luck to you.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, I'll chat with you on Discord and
Okay.
also I think set up something
Let's
next
do
year. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Well, do you have availability for next year already or no?
Yes. Yeah. I have some spots open already.
Oh, maybe I should just get onto it because you seem to be in um in demand.
Yeah. It stays full usually. But I don't know if I sent you two already. You might have one, or I can send you another one.
Yeah. I'll look at those links again.
And if they don't work, I'll send you another one.
Cool, yeah. The first two didn't seem to work, but then the second two seem to work.
It was my fault.
No, it's all good. So is there a difference between the two links?
Every link I send out is like good for one booking. They're one-time links.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I know you're remembering the old system where I had a link and people just could take what they wanted. So this is my way of kind of controlling that a little better.
Okay, so each of these links is like two per person basically at once. Or I mean, it's a link. Unique
if you have
link
two
or...
links, if you have two unique links, then that's like two bookings, two tokens.
I like that idea. That's great. I don't know.
Yeah, it's been working out. It's been working out well.
That's cool. Good to know.
And if there aren't any available times, I'll make some others for you.
Oh,
just let me know.
I'll book January the 2nd. So wait, that's soon.
Works for me.
I'll do that.
Cool.
Well,
thank you.
Hope you're enjoying your day.
Okay. Thanks for sharing all that, and thanks to your parts for speaking up.
Thank you. They say thanks.
All right.
Take care.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.